One day I was just online and I ran across some stories of women who had survived sex trafficking. I remember one story, which was one where a girl just started living with her boyfriend. He would say, well, we can't pay our light bill, so can't you just go over here and, be with my friend for a little bit. But the moment that she actually started to push back and resist because it was becoming like a habit, and she said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to sleep with your friends. Isn't there another way that we can make this work out? He would push back even greater and do something crazy and extremely violent, start beating her, throwing her into the kitchen cabinets, with her face over and over and over again, just screaming at her. And I never even realized that something like this could be possible. And then I think whenever I got down to some story which involved a child, I think that's whenever it really hit me. I felt completely devastated. I felt horrified. I felt angry. I remember just a few hours just after I had initially read those stories and actually felt the weight of that, like I just was weeping because I couldn't understand that this would actually be happening in my city. And from then on, I just said, I have to commit my life to figuring out how to end this. After that, it just solidified. I had to jump into this. And so the only thing I could find was a prayer meeting. And so I just started coming to the prayer meeting where we would learn about trafficking and then pray about it. And then I taught a class on intervention, and then we started doing interventions. And so little by little, I kept finding my place in this movement. And we would just go for a few hours with whoever showed up, going into brothels, going out on the street, going into cantinas, where we knew these women were being sold. And at that time, we didn't have a hotline number or anything like that. We just gave them our numbers and said, call us, we'll help you get out. In Asian brothels, we see women who have been transported from other countries. In cantina brothels, we see where women are being brought over from Central South America. They're put into what's called the seasoning process, which is simply a way to compel a woman into the life of prostitution. With domestic women, though, sometimes the luring is different. We see a lot of pimps acting like they're the perfect boyfriend for 6 weeks or 3 months or whatever it takes to get that woman or that girl isolated from her friends, from her community, or from her family, and dependent on that pimp. In the beginning, we didn't have any aim to become our own organization, but we had a group of really dedicated volunteers. In order to be able to really push forward what we saw the Lord was orchestrating, we became officially Elijah Rising. So Elijah Rising had been doing all of these things like van tours and all these interventions and outreach nights and all this stuff, training even. But something really formative came about whenever we were able to partner with landlords to help shut properties down. One of these properties actually became what was our headquarters, which houses the Museum of Modern Day Slavery, which is one of the only in the nation. And so it was really a remarkable thing to see, 50, 100, 200, 400 people just mobilizing to just sweep the streets and see if they could find exploited women. It was wonderful and sobering at the same time to see women actually exiting the life, but at the same time, we didn't really have the resources necessary to serve them adequately. So we knew that we couldn't continue our intervention work handing out rescue numbers if there wasn't real adequate stable housing on the back end. And so we hit an impasse. We knew that a miracle had to happen in order to serve these women once they exited the life. We were searching for someone else to be the aftercare, to be the restorative care community. When one day we actually were invited to go view this property. We went back and our founder got a call from our board members saying, this property is for Elijah Rising. This is what we've been asking God for. And that's the moment whenever the Lord brought in the possibility of Kendleton Farms. Kendleton Farms is poised to be the largest aftercare facility in the entire city. And we need this aftercare facility to serve these women who come out of sexual exploitation or trafficking, but we will be serving the women as well as their children. When a woman comes onto Kendleton Farms, she receives access to the gospel, prayer, Bible study. Then we also serve her by offering trauma-informed therapy. We offer job skill training and educational opportunities so she can finish her GED or she can go back to college. She also gets specialized medical and dental care while on site. This might be the first time that a woman has ever encountered a non-abusive home. And so safe housing, reintegration into a healthy community and social aspects. So really Kendleton Farms serves the woman holistically, all of her social, her economic, mental health, all of her physical needs at one place. There's a tremendous amount of need for every one woman that comes onto Kendleton Farms. For every woman that comes out of the life of prostitution, her entire life has been shattered. She has to rebuild from basically nothing. There's a huge vision at Kendleton Farms, a vision that will impact generations and families, but without your support, without your financial commitment and your financial partnership or your volunteer hours, we cannot make this a reality. By volunteering, you help us reach thousands of women trapped in the sex industry. By donating, you help sustain programming that makes restoration possible. By becoming an advocate, you help train up your sphere of influence and show them what they can do about this issue. Without your support in those areas, this vision and reaching women on the mass scale that we're able to would not happen.